Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. Hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday weekend this weekend for all the people celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the good stuff.
Festivus
Festivus for the rest of us. And Boxing Day, if you're into that, I guess.
What's that, Canada?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's not us.
It's not us. It ain't American, that's for sure. Thank you guys for stopping by to the show. We're going to be talking a little bit about James Gunn and how he's going to save the DCEU. There's been a lot of controversy, obviously, going around some of the announcements he's made. We're going to kind of break.
I'm going to talk about it.
Producer Rick wants to bring back Henry Cavill, but we'll talk about that after our break. If you're on YouTube, there should be a little time code down the bottom saying when we start talking about that. Before we do that, though, please like and subscribe. Click the follow button. Follow us on Apple iTunes, Stitcher Premium, Spotify, or the YouTubes. We do appreciate that. You can also check out Nerds with Friends on Patreon.com. So it's patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. Help support us. Get in the giving spirit this holiday season. All right, Christian. Well, instead of doing nerdy confessions this week, I think we're going to do our Christmas gift exchange for you.
Okay, you go first. I'm more excited for people opening stuff than opening stuff.
Me go first? Okay, so I have this nice little package. Really cool wrapping paper. It's like kind of like, I don't know, like a medieval Dark Ages type deal. There's like a king guy holding a little demon guy. It's pretty cool. Very festive. And rip this up here.
I had a hard time deciding whether that one or Krampus, and I just went with that one.
Oh, nice.
We like the morbid Christmas stuff.
Hell yeah. Oh my goodness. Some magic cords. All right. Take a look at these here.
Also, these didn't fit, but they're basically repeats if you want to put them in a different deck.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Oh, so these are some of these proxies that we were talking about that we brought up. I don't actually know if we talked about on the show.
No, we didn't. Because we're going to get the artist / business owner on once we get situated with the move and our internets.
Yeah. So these are our proxies that are used in lieu of very expensive cards. So there's looks like Mind Stone, Commander Sphere, Soul Ring, very popular one in Commander, Arcane Signet, Thought Vessel, that's a good one. Jeweled Lotus. Look at the art on that one. Beautiful.
The fact that he knew all the names, I was just like, oh, I know what these do. I never remembered the names.
And then these are all the dual lands. Very cool. Dual lands are like fucking $800 for one card. like the original ones. Thanks, man. This is really cool.
The back one is a secret lair.
Oh, a secret lair one, yeah. Oh, Decree of Pain. Whoa, this is so crazy. It looks like, I don't know. It's like a movie poster almost. Destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's a legit Magic card. All these other ones have this cool back on them right here, where it's like got the lotus on.
I was actually surprised, like feeling them, like they're nice. I thought they were gonna be, like I don't know, like flimsy, but no, they
feel like legit cards. They're printed on like poker style card things. Yeah, they're very, very high quality. I like it. Very cool. Thanks, man. That's really awesome.
And then there was Demonic Tutor that I gave to him earlier.
Yeah, that's true. You did give that to me earlier. Demonic
That's because I was like, all right, I know I would want this in to put it in the deck, and we were playing a game. It was like, so I'm not going to deny him the chance to add it to his deck.
Well, thanks, man. These are very, very cool. Yeah, these are like good Commander staples, good mana rocks and stuff to give you more mana early on. Very cool. Thank you, sir. Well, time to open yours. Yours is over there.
Standard Christmas wrapping paper.
Hell yeah. Stole it from my roommate, you know.
Does she know?
Yeah, she saw me do it. It's like, what are you going to do? Very bad at wrapping gifts, so it's like, I'm always last minute. I did that right before I ran out.
I only learned how to wrap gifts because the fiance has yelled at me multiple times. I always felt like I wrapped it bad, and I was like, oh, it's kind of charming, you know? Like, look at this dummy how he wrapped it, you know? And then she just couldn't handle it. Oh, nice. Dice tray?
Open it up.
Oh.
You'll see.
Oh. card organizer? You got sick of me like fumbling with my cards?
Yeah. Sick of having 1,000 boxes, cardboard boxes with no names or labels on them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Obviously, for our audio listeners, this isn't going to be super exciting, but you can check out YouTube. Just search Nerds with Friends, and you'll find us on there. So this whole thing kind of pulls up out.
That's hella funny. This is like the second fucking time where we've gotten each other the same thing.
I know. Yep, indeed. I was like, oh, these will be a good gift.
I'm destroying this box.
So I think you pull this thing up.
Shit's Mexican proof. There we go.
There you go, and then it kind of pops out of here.
Are they the lands too?
They're a different one, but I definitely bought myself the fucking Japanese ones.
I was hoping you did. And I was like maybe some secret lair, and I was like, no, these look really cool.
Well, I'm not gonna not buy myself some when I buy you some, Christian. All right, so this
I'll buy you some other stuff to make up.
No. The all the Soul Ring stuff is cool, and plus now I can put them in more than one thing. So check this out. So this thing here, this
is pretty dope.
This will hold, I think it's 6 full commander decks. Okay, in here in this part.
Oh, it's got a little tray.
Yeah, so it's got like. Here, hold it up here so people can kind of see it a little bit. So that's okay. Everything's magnetic on it. So up here you can put, tokens, dice, whatever you want, right? It's got room for 6 full 100 deck commander decks in here. And then each side folds down and there's little drawers here. This one is this perfect size for cards, and so it has a little magnetic flap so you can get into the cards easy, right? And then this bottom one is same size, and then on the other side it's got, I think, longer ones.
This is pretty cool.
So you can put dice and stuff in there. And then the lid, which you drop down here, this lid folds up into a dice tray. So if you need to roll dice for anything, it's kind of like, I think they fold out like that. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
And then it holds itself open like that.
You know who's going to love this a whole lot? Sabrina.
Yeah.
This is cool, man.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I have a deck box by these guys. They're called Game Genic, like eugenics, I guess. But they make really high quality stuff. Some would say the superior stuff. And everything's nice and soft inside. It's magnetic.
No, this is really cool. Yeah.
Very help you.
I love that you went to eugenics.
Yeah. That's what everyone thinks of when they hear the word Genix, right? And then why don't you check out your cards that I got you? They're not the exact same ones that you got me, so that's lucky.
God damn it! I'm gonna get you something else now.
No, it's okay. These are still really cool, and now like I said, I can put them in more than one deck, which is awesome.
Oh, nice! You know what's funny is I almost bought myself these.
Yeah. So those are all the dual lands as well. So dual lands, for those of you uninitiated, basically they create 2 kinds of mana, and they have no downside to them, which is awesome. They don't come in tapped. They don't cost you life. They don't cost you other cards.
This one's actually really cool. The Scrubland.
Scrublands, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought the art was really sick on these ones. And one thing that's kind of nice is, like, down here it actually tells you the name and stuff. On those Japanese ones, it's all in Japanese. So
yeah, but you can tell by the colors what they are.
You can tell by the colors, yeah. But I'm like, oh, it's nice to have them in English where I can actually read them. And then a command tower, which could be anything.
Nice.
Yeah, man. We sent a lot of money down to what's his name? The
Royal Tokens.
Royal Tokens proxies. So check those guys out. We will be having the owner, CEO, creator of them on the show in the future. Very interesting company and really beautiful cards too. Like all this artwork is just so nice. The Soul Ring one and the Jeweled Lotus looks so good.
I'm hoping at least you didn't get yourself those.
No, I did not.
Okay,
no,
cool.
All I got was the dual lands. I did get these, but I mean, look how cool they are.
Yeah, and I mean, they're dual lands. You can have more of them, so.
Yeah, exactly. I can, because I have multiple decks that have similar colors in them. Oh man, well that's pretty exciting. I'm excited to shuffle those into my decks, and I think I'll definitely put because one thing is I created a Transformers deck, which I played against you I think one time, and I had to pull cards out of my Warhammer decks, so I'm going to replace them with all these ones now and just fucking destroy.
Yes, secret layers are dangerous, man. Like now, like we've been looking at it.
Well, here's the thing that kind of bothers me about Secret Lair. So Secret Lair, for those of you who don't know, it's a special edition thing that they release Magic cards, and they release anywhere from, I think it's like 4 to 6 cards in each one. And they're limited edition. You have to order them directly from Wizards of the Coast. And they're like limited edition. They have like cool alternate artwork. You know, sometimes they can be very rare cards. Sometimes they can be not so rare cards. The problem is it used to be like a real rare thing. It's like, oh, one every 3 months or something. Like, oh shit, you know, it's 5 cards. If I don't get it, then I'll never get it. Now it's like they drop like, you know, 15 of them at the same time. You're like, oh fuck. But they are very cool. There's those Frank Frazetta ones we saw.
We already pre-ordered them.
Did you? Nice. I got a couple of the Transformer, or I just got one of the Transformer.
We got
packs.
the other one, the rollout one, I think.
Oh, nice, very nice. Yeah. So
and the cereal box one.
The cereal box. So what was this one called?
That one. Oh my god. I don't remember what it's called, but it's an older set you can't get anymore.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't one you just got recently.
No.
Oh, very cool.
No, all the ones, the Transformers, they're all pre-sale.
Yeah,
so.
they're all pre-sale. I actually just got a notification yesterday saying that the label was created, but it's not coming till January or February or something like that.
Oh.
But it'll be cool once they come in.
I just wish they would stick to one genre and make a whole bunch of them. They did some old school movie poster ones.
Yes.
That looked amazing, and I bought myself a couple. But I was like,
one thing that's really shitty about it that I saw a video on is a lot of times they'll do like special edition lands, right?
Yeah. Those lands are expensive.
But then they only give you one of each one.
Yeah.
So only 5 cards, and it's like $30. It's like, if you're going to do lands, do like 10 of each or 20 of each or something like that. Let me get a stack of them.
So you can make a commander
so I could put a deck, like any deck together, and have, you know, all those ones. One of each isn't going to do anybody any good.
I'm trying to look for some Godzilla lands. They look really
Oh,
cool.
fuck.
But they're like one land is like $10-$20.
Oh my god, yeah.
Which I'm still gonna end.
Well, like I said, it's cool we have these proxies now.
Yeah.
Because each one of those is like $400 to $800 depending on how popular it is. Because they only got printed back in the like beta set or whatever. So very cool. Well, thank you, man.
There were some 80s looking cards too. They look pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah.
And some pixel ones. I'm searching for them.
I know. What a slippery slope we went down in the world of.
And you know what's crazy is like you can't like I like spending money at shops. Anime Imports has become like now my favorite store.
Shout out Anime Imports.
Yeah, shout out Anime Imports, and like it's just they're not allowed to sell single secret layers. So it's like where I'm gonna be spending pretty soon like a decent amount of money. It's like I can't spend it there because they're not allowed to sell it only through
Wizards directly.
Yeah, through Wizards. So
yeah,
kind of sucks.
Yeah, and that's been a little controversial. Some of the people don't like that Wizards is undercutting their, you know, the local games shops, which is kind of a bummer, you know.
But Card Kingdom can do it, and I don't know how they can do it.
Yeah, they probably have some exclusive deal with them or something, you know, because they're one of the biggest online resellers of cards. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, well, cool. I'm excited to shuffle these up. I'm excited to see you fill that box full of decks, and you can even like. I know there's people out there that sell like little dividers and stuff you can put on the label and everything.
She'll definitely do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick little break. When we get back, we're going to be talking about James Gunn and how he's going to save the DC Extended Universe. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, big shakeups happening in the nerd world, especially over there at Warner Brothers. So, for those who didn't know, Warner Brothers was previously owned by AT&T, I think it was, who also owned HBO, and that's where we got the little HBO Warner Brothers exclusive deals. They have since been bought out by Discovery. Who knew Discovery had so much fucking money?
Wait, like the Discovery Channel?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shout out Discovery Channel.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And so now a lot of leadership at Warner Brothers has been kind of shuffled around, so to speak, laid off, replaced, what have you. And it seems like the new regime is set on finally doing the DC cinematic universe correctly. So they have put in James Gunn and David Safran.
James Gunn's the only one that matters to me.
Yeah. They basically put two guys in charge of the DC cinematic universe. And now they're going to act as like the Kevin Feige producer role for the movies going forward.
And the internet has taken it very well. Everyone's
super supportive. They're all really open-minded. They're very excited to see what comes next. No, the internet has been super, super toxic, and I don't use that word lightly because I'm all about people getting upset. I mean, that's part of what this podcast is we complain about stuff a lot. But I am upset that they're first of all acting like everyone was so supportive of the Snyderverse.
The revision history of like what had happened is insane.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It's like reading a fucking history book in Alabama.
Yes, all these Confederate.
The War of Northern Aggression. They came down here to try to change our way of life. You're like, Jesus Christ, bro, that's not what happened.
It's just like all this love for Snyder, but they didn't throw their dollars at it like when it was in theaters. Actually, no. I mean, it did make it.
It made a decent amount of money.
They made a decent amount of money, but everyone, I feel, rightfully so, was universally trashing the movies. Mm-hmm. But now everyone talks about it like they were the best things ever. I was like, that's not how I remember it, man.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so one thing I think we wanted to talk about was, like, first of all, what this revisionist history is. Like, how everyone has, changed their minds on how they felt about the Snyderverse overnight, seemingly. And then what we think James Gunn brings to the table and how he's going to, fix the universe going forward, right? So kind of like the state of the DCEU right now is Henry Cavill famously has been essentially fired as Superman. He made I guess brief spoilers for the end credit scene of Black Adam, but he made a reappearance as Superman in the end of Black Adam. And he had made this return to the DC universe to play Superman again. He had left The Witcher, which we don't know if that's connected or not, but it seems like maybe it might have been a little bit. He's also been not super juiced about how The Witcher's been handled.
I've been hearing rumors that he's not difficult to work with, but now obviously the internet loves him, so he's demanding more pay. Which if you're popular and you're bringing eyeballs to screens, you can rightfully so ask for more money. I mean, I don't think that's wrong, but I think he was asking for too much money for The Witcher, and I'm pretty sure he would, being like you said, he wasn't too happy with the way it was going. He's a hardcore gamer. He probably didn't like how the story was going. I'm sure he has the storyline memorized. He probably didn't like where it's going, so he asked for more money.
Yeah, he didn't like how the initial IP was being treated, which is awesome because now he has officially signed on to do a Warhammer television show with Amazon,
which he loves. He's a fucking huge Warhammer guy, and I think he's got like some kind of executive producer.
Yep, he's going to star and executive produce it. And one thing that's really cool is on the official announcement, he said that I love this property and I will treat it with as much respect as I possibly can. And that's all the nerds really want, right?
Well, and to me, that's the thing. Is like, okay, we lost him as Superman. It sucks. Or did we? Did we lose him as Superman? Which is what I was going to get into. So we got him in Warhammer. I mean, to me, maybe it's not, for some people, it's not going to be a fair trade-off, but it's nice,
Right.
Also, he's free now to be in Marvel.
Right.
He's my favorite pick to be Captain Britain.
Captain Britain would be cool.
Would be great,
Sentry would be
Sentry would
sick.
be great.
Yeah.
Although it'd be weird seeing him blonde. I don't know.
It would be kind of weird seeing him blonde.
Or they wouldn't do him blonde. I don't know. They would have to do him blonde because he might look too much like Superman.
He's got the power of 1,000 exploding suns or whatever it is, or 1,000,000 exploding
10,000 exploding suns.
Some arbitrary number of exploding suns.
The point is that he's 10 times stronger than Superman.
Yeah, exactly. He's stronger than Superman in every way, except he's mentally unstable.
Which would be great. It would be great to see him as the Void. Yeah. I mean, we saw him when he was when he had amnesia.
I would have liked him. I would have liked him as an Adam Warlock if that wasn't already happening. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he's too
kind of cool.
I feel like he's too big. Adam Warlock's not that big.
That's true. He's got a lot of cape. Most of him is cape.
Like he's somewhere between like a buff superhero and like Spider-Man. Like he's not. He's like because he's a magician basically for the most part.
But he's also supposed to be like the perfect being.
The perfect being. Yes, a Caucasian man. Exactly. I guess a golden
blonde hair, golden man.
And then Magus is a guy with an afro and dark skin.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were trying to do with that, but I think it's obviously there.
It's pretty obvious what they were doing. But yeah, so he's gone. The Rock has been kind of feuding on and off with Warner Brothers now because he was basically promised that he was going to be like the new leader of the DC universe. And then they brought back Henry Cavill, so he was kind of pissed about that. He's like, what the fuck? I thought it was me. And then now Black Adam 2 is being put on the back burner. He's not going to be part of the first phase of this new DC universe.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what they're going to do.
Right. He said he talked with James Gunn already and that they do have plans to, include Black Adam in future stuff, but just not in the first phase.
Right. He's got to fix everything that was gone wrong.
Right. Wonder Woman 3 has been canceled.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, who knows? Like, Patty Jenkins, the first Wonder Woman I thought was great. The second one.
Except for the villain.
The first one?
I didn't like how they did Ares. It was so bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally the end, but the music was
CG
cool.
Effect.
I liked the story, how it was treated. Like, there was a lot of great things. It's just, the CG on Ares was
I think the CG struggled a little bit in the whole universe. So that's been canceled. Wonder Woman 84 was terrible. One of the worst super movies I think that has ever been made. But, that's like a 50% batting average kind of thing. So who knows if that's a good thing. But Gal Gadot may not return as Wonder Woman.
They haven't said.
Aquaman is still slated to come out, the Aquaman 2 movie. But there's also been rumors that James Gunn wants what's his name? Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Which is perfect casting, man. It's great. I mean, Jason Momoa is excited about it. Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong. I like what he did with Aquaman. He took a character that was pretty much a joke for a long time and made him cool. But, like, in terms of looks, he looks like the character in the comics. Like he
looks just like Lobo. You just paint him with, like, pale white makeup.
Yeah.
And give him some red contacts.
And a cigar.
Lobo.
Yeah, there you go. Like, you got him.
Space motorcycle. And then we still have the Flash movie coming out with crazy old Ezra. So
it's gonna be hard to run with the handcuffs on him,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He's not gonna be able to do that, the
crazy CG his arms.
He's just gonna be like on both sides,
crazy running. Yeah, he's like running with his cuffed hands up. Yeah. So yes, the DC universe right now is in a weird state because there's still movies that have been fully completed, or at least mostly completed, that are coming out this year.
That to me is
or next year, I should say.
Is the weirdest part is that there's still movies that come out that essentially may not matter.
Right.
They might, but I can't see it mattering.
I think they do have a unique opportunity with the Flash movie because they're doing the Flashpoint storyline, which essentially resets the whole DC universe.
Right.
So I'm wondering if they're going to do some re-edits, maybe some reshoots or whatever, to make it so the end of that movie resets the entire DC universe kind of thing. You know what I mean?
The New 52 or
New 52 or what Rebirth or whatever it's called now. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening where things are being canceled. Batgirl got canceled. I think there was another movie that they were talking about doing that got canceled as well. I guess it was maybe it was Wonder Woman 3. But
did you hear the story of how Patty Jenkins did it?
No.
Apparently, she like sent the Wikipedia page for character growth to the head of WB, and it was just like, you know, so you learn because you know nothing about it, and then she just like she quit. I was like, dude, what a way to go! What a way to just be like, you know what, WB, I want to ensure that you guys never consider me for another project ever again. Let me send you this.
Oh my god.
I mean, at the same time, I love the pettiness.
Yeah, it is maximum pettiness.
Good old Petty Jenkins.
Yeah, Petty Jenkins. Yeah, I mean, I think obviously a lot of people are upset hearing about this thing because there's a lot of people who loved, you know, Wonder Woman. There's a lot of people who loved Henry Cavill, myself included, as Superman. A lot of people love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Ezra Miller's also in there.
There's a lot of Ezra Miller fans, man. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, they're crazy. So a lot of people on the internet are rightfully a little upset. But at the same time, I think the thing that bothers me the most is how many people are pretending like the Snyderverse was the perfect, you know, representation of these things. How many times did people complain about Man of Steel, him snapping Zod's neck, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was one of them. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
Superman
exactly.
doesn't do that.
And they're like, oh, it's so stupid. Why didn't he save his dad in the tornado? Blah, blah, blah.
Or it was too dark. Oh, everything's
too dark.
sepia color. Like,
yeah. And then, you know, then there was
the Martha incident.
Batman, Superman. There was the Martha thing. People basically were so mean to Ben Affleck that they made him quit being Batman, which is crazy.
Which to me, I'm going to piss a lot of people off. To me, has been the best Batman.
Yeah.
To me.
I think.
And Bruce Wayne.
Been
the best one.
I will say that I've really enjoyed Matt Reeves' The Batman. Like that movie was phenomenal. And I think that's probably one of the best Batman movies we've ever had. But I will say that I think Ben Affleck is the best on-screen portrayal of Batman that we've had. Live action. Kevin Conroy, R.I.P.
Oh, yeah. He was great.
So,
you know, I really loved the Matt Reeves one. And then what's our favorite? One of our favorite guys on YouTube who does the
Nerdrotic.
No. The guy who does he plays the two parts like he's pitching movie
Ryan George pitch meeting.
Yeah, when he did that for I was like, oh my god, he killed a lot of this movie for me.
Yeah. Well, he's very good at picking
brought
out
up some really good points that I didn't even consider. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
No, I still like it. But those are some good points.
And then, you know, I think that everyone's has like rose-colored glasses when they're looking back on the Snyderverse, right? The Snyder cut, I will admit, of the Justice League was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. But again, it's like that was just something that came about because people shit on the Joss Whedon Justice League so much. And it's just like, where were you guys back then when all this stuff was coming out and you're like, oh, this fucking sucks. I can't believe they're doing all these characters wrong. Now they're like, oh, well, we don't want, you know, everyone's been complaining for so long that they want someone else to take over the DC universe. Now that we got someone with a proven track record.
He's wrong. Don't listen to him.
He's wrong. Don't listen to producer Rick. Now we have someone with a proven track record of not only taking side characters and making them like main characters, essentially, with the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, everyone forgets. No one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before that movie. Like, I knew loosely who they were.
Yeah.
I knew there was...
We knew Rocket.
I knew Rocket and Groot, and I knew Star-Lord because he'd been in a couple of things that I had read. And, like, Drax, I knew was kind of out there, and then Nebula and Gamora from the Infinity Gauntlet. So it's like, he took that and made them into one of the most beloved, superhero teams in the MCU. Then he came in and took Suicide Squad, which, again, was one of the most hated movies in the DC universe. He redid it, and it was fucking awesome. And then he did Peacemaker, which was also awesome.
You know, and, like, I know what some people are thinking. Oh, you know, the Suicide Squad didn't make a lot of money. It didn't make a whole lot of money, but I don't think people take into consideration it was during COVID, and a lot of people weren't going to movie theaters.
Right.
So, and I'm sure, I haven't looked at the streaming numbers, but I'm sure they did really well HBO Max, but the people who did watch it loved it, and it was fucking hilarious. It was great.
And then Peacemaker was one of the most watched shows on HBO Max too. You know, so and one thing to remember is like, even if it wasn't during the middle of COVID, you know, I think that one thing you don't realize is that the first Suicide Squad movie sucked so hard. Like, a lot of people weren't going to take a chance on this new one, spending money going out in pandemic times.
That's a fair point too, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think it got a lot more views once it came to streaming. So I think that, honestly, James Gunn is going to bring a unique perspective to it. And I think one thing that the DC universe really needed was some sort of overall vision.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that
well, I think he's got the balls that it's going to take to fix a lot of things. Like, I mean, he had the balls to bring King Shark, you know, and like I can't imagine someone else doing it and doing it right. You know, he brought in although his name's not the Detachable Kid, but he threw that character in there and it was fucking hilarious. Like, he brought these side characters that worked, and a lot of them didn't get a whole lot of screen time in the Suicide Squad. But I can imagine him pulling a lot of characters that no one else would consider. You know, everyone goes for the safe Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Like, he'll go and reach for those weird characters, and I'm for it. I'm ready.
Right. And I think that's one thing that the DC universe was severely lacking, right? Like, with Superman, right? How many times have we seen Superman fight Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
And, like, all the Christopher Reeve movies, the Brandon Routh movies. He was in the Batman versus Superman. You know, it's like, I realize he is the most famous Superman villain, or at least one of them, right? But it's like, let's explore someone else. Why haven't we had Brainiac in there? You know what I mean? Why? How about
that the one with Richard Pryor? Wasn't it with the one with Richard Pryor?
We don't talk about that one.
That was Brainiac, though, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I saw it as a kid.
I just remember Richard Pryor skied down a skyscraper on skis, and I was like, "This isn't Superman."
I think that was Canon Films that did that one, which is probably why it was really bad.
Real bad. So yeah, I think that he's going to bring a unique perspective to the DC universe. We'll see some stuff that maybe a big movie studio wouldn't have taken a chance on, like you said, like King Shark, Ratcatcher, you know, things like that. Ratcatcher 2. And I'm excited to see that. But also, like, let's be honest, we haven't had a good Green Lantern ever. Yeah. You know, the Ryan Reynolds one, even though we all love Ryan Reynolds, even he didn't like that movie. You know?
No, I mean, he knew. He's one of those guys that was very self-aware. Same thing with his portrayal of Deadpool, you know, and like, he knew, and he was like, all right, I'm going to obviously poke fun of this because he knew how bad it was.
Right. So I'm excited to see, you know, and James Gunn has said that Green Lantern is a very important character that needs to be, you know, brought to screen. And I just think it's going to be very helpful for the DC universe. I'm going to trust him until he gives me a reason not to.
Yeah. So, with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So, I know he says he's not playing Superman, but he's also in talks. They have plans for him to possibly be in the DC universe. So, I think, two things, and if James Gunn's listening, I think he is.
We know Kevin Feige is. Call James and have him tune in.
So, I think it would be cool, and I could see James Gunn doing this, is bringing him in as Bizarro. And
yes.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool because we don't get to see, I mean, we already saw him in kind of pasty white in The Witcher. And to have him be a villain, which, although now he kind of goes back and forth between anti-hero and villain, but I think it would be very cool, and I think James Gunn could do a great job of bringing him in. So he wouldn't be Superman.
Right.
You would have...
That would be fun, though.
It would be great. And I'm hoping...
Whoever he has play the new Superman, like when Bizarro comes in, you just have Henry Cavill play Bizarro.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking tight.
So that's one. And another way, but he would be playing Superman. But if we want to see him go out nicely, it's All-Star Superman, where he actually gets cancer from the exposure of the yellow sun. And it's like...
God, that was a good series.
Yeah, so like to see him, if we want to see him exit out that way, then he'd be gone.
Give him one more movie where it's like the Matt Reeves Batman. Doesn't tie into the you know, the whole greater universe, but gives him a nice send off. That'd be fun.
Like if you want to make
or a streaming special, like an hour.
Yeah.
Like
if you want to make all these, toxic fandom people happy, you get your Henry Cavill exit and he's gone, and then you can bring in a different version. I think it would be cool. I think James Gunn can pull it off, but I think it would be a tough pill to swallow for everyone else if you start bringing in all the other Superman, like Steel, which
like bring Shaq back.
It would be funny, and then you can do some comedy with that, with the Superman character. And then there was a Cyborg Steel Superman or something.
Yeah, Cyborg Superman, Superboy, of course.
Yeah, I think
Supergirl.
James Gunn could pull it off. I haven't thought about a storyline for it, but I think it could work. If you want to exit one character and bring in different versions of it. So.
I think one of the things that James Gunn does really well is that he's very good at capturing the feeling of a comic book in a movie, where I think that's where a lot of the DC movies failed, right? Like comic books, crazy stuff happens in them because they come out either every week or every 2 weeks. And it's like movies come out once every 2-3 years, right? So you can tell big stories in movies. But one thing with comic books is like, there's going to be issues where Superman's not entirely saving the world. He's just dealing with, an interesting life problem or whatever. Or he's, trying to come to terms with how powerful he is and how disconnected he is with the actual human race and whatnot. So I think James Gunn is very good at tapping into some of that, like he did with Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Guardians of the Galaxy is like they're going on wacky, crazy adventures, and yes, some of them do have huge implications, but he Star-Lord saved the galaxy in a dance battle. Like that's a comic book move, you know what I mean? So I hope he brings that into the DC universe and really lets these comic book movies be comic book movies again.
And I know a lot of people don't want to, they're not happy with James Gunn coming in because for the most part, his recent comic book movies have all been funny, inappropriate jokes, like Peacemaker. But I think I feel with the new Guardians, he's going to pull at people's heartstrings pretty bad. I have a feeling characters are going to die.
Yep.
I have a feeling it's not going to be the most happiest of endings. And I think people are going to be shocked at the stuff he can do.
Well, even in Guardians 1 and 2, like there are these heartfelt moments in each one of them, right?
The Mary Poppins. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. So he's I'm sure there is going to be probably a little bit more humor in the DC movies than maybe people are ready for.
Which is fine. I don't know why, with the Snyderverse, everything being serious, people act like there's not weird shit in the DC universe. There's a ton of fucking weird shit.
Right.
Danny the Street is fucking weird, but it's in there. Yeah, that's fucking canon.
The street, the living street, essentially, that can transport and show up anywhere, basically.
Animal Man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking weird shit. So, read some comics. You'll see, man.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, it's one of those things where, you look back on something you read as a kid and you're like, oh, fuck, Superman is so cool. He's the most powerful guy ever. But you forget there's, issues where he's, saving cats out of trees and shit like that. You know what I mean? Comic books are fucking stupid and funny sometimes.
Yeah, it just depends on who's writing it. Yeah. I really hope he brings in part of it to piss people off, but also it'd be hilarious, and I think he'd do a great job, would be Flex Mentallo. I really hope I
remember what
they brought him in Doom Patrol. It's the guy where he flexes and he can change things around him.
Oh, that's right. Flex Mentallo. So, yeah. Kite Man would be really fun.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be great. And I think the best DC properties that we've seen so far have humor in them, right? James Gunn's Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, the Harley Quinn animated show is great.
Fucking
the
hilarious.
Doom Patrol.
That King Shark as well is fucking hilarious.
Oh, so good with Ron Funches.
I love him, man.
So good.
He's just a fucking perfect King Shark.
Yeah. So I think people, I don't know. They're afraid of change, I think, is what it really boils down to.
Some of the best DC properties have been the animated stuff, the films and the shows, and a lot of them have humor in it. So I don't know. People need to get over it. See, this is where like fandom is such a fucking double-edged sword. Like, it did cause us to get the Snyder Cut, which is great. It was great, but now, you know, I don't think that HBO will get rid of James Gunn. But it could, you know, if people complain.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just, it's like, why can't we just be good all the time?
Why can't we just enjoy things?
It's just,
you know what I mean? I think that's one of those things that that I've kind of come to terms with recently, is that, like, with my love of Star Wars, I think is the perfect example. You know, did I love the sequel trilogy? No, I did not. But at the end of the day, it's Star Wars, and I love Star Wars. So I still go back and watch those movies occasionally. I go back and watch the prequels occasionally, you know? I've watched Solo multiple times.
I've loved the prequels, man. I don't care what people say.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, I think when I was younger, I was like, fuck the prequels, you know, that's not my Star Wars or whatever. But now it's like, now it's part of the Star Wars story, and I just enjoy it. So I think, you know, we're going to look back on this time in the DC universe, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing, is they're looking back to, like, you know what? Justice League wasn't perfect. Batman vs. Superman wasn't perfect, but I had a good time watching them because I saw some of my favorite characters on screen. And now I'm sad that that's gone.
We've said it multiple times on the show, where Batman was fighting the goons and stuff in Batman vs. Superman. So it was some of the best Batman fighting sequence that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's exactly how I imagine fighting in the comics.
It was how he fought in the animated series, which is like the best.
Some of the best Batman, yeah.
I know.
That's where we got Harley Quinn, you know, was from the animated series.
Yeah, people forget Harley Quinn was not a comic book character. She came from the animated series.
Yeah, and then they added her to the comics because she was so fucking popular.
Yeah. So change is not always bad. I think that, you know, especially, you know, this is kind of appropriate going into, you know, Christmas and the New Year and stuff. Like, I think it's a new beginning, which can be scary for some people. But I think at the end of the day, I'm excited to see what comes next in the DC.
Yeah,
universe.
And I know he's going to pull goofy characters from the DC, and I'm fucking ready for it.
And I think that's, you know, that's a fun way of, like, opening up a movie. Having Superman fighting one of his stupider, you know, like, villains. You know what I mean?
I forgot. What's the villain? He's like X, Y, and Z. It was something weird.
Mr. Mixexplica?
Yeah,
Mixexplizic or whatever his name is.
He's like interdimensional.
Where you have to, like, say his name
backwards
or something to get him out of here. Or the small city. I forget what the city's name was. That city cat is under a jar.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Like, let's
Capsule City, I think.
I don't think
it was Capsule something, I think.
Maybe. But it was that small miniaturized city that he's like the god of, essentially. Like, let's do some weird stories and let's see what Superman can really do. Because I think that's where that character is most interesting. Batman's most interesting when he's dealing with foiled versions of himself. You know, like, that's what the Joker is, right? What if Batman lost control of what of his morals and what he sees as
the Batman who laughs? That would be a good one.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I don't think they'll ever do that, honestly. But I think that this is a good step in the right direction for DC, and I'm excited to see what comes out of it.
Actually, no, I think he should do it just to piss more people off.
Yeah.
Fucking do the Batman who laughs, just ruin all these big names, make Henry Cavill fucking Bizarro.
Thomas Wayne is Batman.
Yeah, with fucking guns and he's killing people and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and Martha Wayne is the Joker.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tower of Babel, where Batman's plans, where he has contingency plans if someone turns and he like can kill him, and Ra's al Ghul comes and steals that shit. Like, fucking, let's do it.
Yeah. Ooh, Court of Owls. I want a Court of Owls.
That would be great. It would have to be a show.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be too long.
Yeah. There's a lot to kind of squeeze in there, but goddamn. I would like maybe a 2-part movie from Matt Reeves on that. That would be fun.
That would be great. Matt Reeves doing that would be cool.
But I think we're headed in the right direction. I guess we could play devil's advocate for a minute. Like, things we'd worry about is that maybe there'd be too much humor in every single movie, and they'd all feel too much like a James Gunn movie, but he's not going to direct every single movie.
No, he's
also.
the head. He's going to direct and probably write some, but he's not going to be the head of them. He's
the
head. He's not going to be
Kevin
directing
Feige
everything.
doesn't direct any of the Marvel movies, you know what I mean? But he has that unified vision, which I think is what the DC universe has been lacking. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next.
I have zero concern. I think it's going to be great.
Plus, I'm super juiced for Henry Cavill doing the Warhammer show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, God damn it, he is perfect to play the Emperor of Mankind. People have already memed it online. In fact, you know what's funny is as soon as he got fired from being Superman, I sent a bunch of people who I know would care about it. I'm like, dude, the time is now. Warhammer's coming. And I sent them a picture of Henry Cavill as the Emperor of Mankind from the Imperium of Man in Warhammer 40K. And then later that night, there's a rumor that he's talking with trying to adapt Warhammer, and then the next day he announced that he was.
As if you guys needed more proof that people are listening to us and taking our fucking ideas.
I know.
We're just giving away gold and
just too tapped in,
making millions for other people. Like, send us some dollars over here, man.
Yeah, let us open our consulting firm where we tell people like how to make better, versions of the of their movies and stuff. Like, let us read the script first. We'll fix it so fans don't get mad, and then we'll send it back to you, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, $1 billion? That's crazy! Thank you, Nerds and Friends, so much."
No, I mean, you would have final word because I probably would throw in a lot of shit just to piss people off.
Yeah,
like all these James Gunn haters.
I'll rein
you know what? This is what we're doing now. Fuck that.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is Superman again. Yeah. Tim Burton's directing,
and he's got a fucking mullet.
Yeah,
and a fucking
no cape,
jeans jacket. We're giving all that fucking shit to him.
Oh, yeah. Remember 80s Superman when he had the fucking mullet?
Yeah.
So good. People forget. And, like, his hair was, like, blue. It was, like, so black it was blue.
Yeah, it was, like, a weird blue.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super juiced for Warhammer. I think if I had to make a prediction just to get it down on video and audio, because watch when this all fucking plays out, right? I think the story you do with Warhammer is you have to do the Horus Heresy, which is when essentially the Emperor of Mankind, who leads all of mankind, who's like the universe's most powerful psychic warrior guy. He makes 20 sons, really 18 because 2 of them are redacted, which is its own whole thing in Warhammer. But he has 18 sons who are all like demigods essentially. Who lead all the factions of Space Marines. And then basically one of them leads a civil war against the other half. And that one's name is Horus, who was the Emperor's favorite son. And so it's called the Horus Heresy. It's Space Marine fighting Space Marine brother against brother. And it basically sets up the entire universe for Warhammer 40,000, where the forces of chaos, which are like these demon gods who live in an alternate dimension, corrupt Horus and cause him to rebel against his father. And like,
I have a feeling he's gonna put himself as a Marine, just a grunt.
I think you're right. As much as I'd love him to be Emperor of Mankind, I think he wants to be more involved. So I would want him to play Garviel Loken, who is a Space Marine captain in the Luna Wolves, which are Horus's Space Marines. They later renamed themselves Sons of Horus, which is like, oh no, maybe we shouldn't be following this guy. And I think if he played him, he plays a good surrogate for the audience, where he's seeing his Primarch, who is what they call Horus, fall to chaos and start to do things that are questionable. And he's like, I don't know. I mean, he's basically this guy is basically our fearless leader, our father, our the guy we would do anything for, but he's starting to do stuff that I don't agree with, and you watch like as everything starts to tear apart. I think he'd be perfect for that role, which would be fucking awesome. And then just fucking Warhammer super violence ensues.
All right, your choice director for it. If it was a movie, it's going to be a show, right?
It's going to be a show. If it was a movie, I would love Denis Villeneuve from Dune.
Okay.
God damn. Because one thing with Warhammer is the scale of it is crazy. Like there's, trillions of people in the universe and stuff, and there's these huge battlefields that go on for an entire planet. Entire planet turns into a battlefield. And I think that's one thing that Denis Villeneuve does really well is scale. Like in Blade Runner and Dune and even Arrival, you feel how big everything is.
Blade Runner, the one he did, I feel like it's one of those movies that like it doesn't get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, I know.
Like so it didn't have the audience that it should have.
Yeah, it's too slow.
But
and
it's
cerebral.
cool that studios still see that potential in him, so,
right.
which is great. Like they haven't given up on him.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'd love that.
So not David Lynch, huh? I'm surprised you wouldn't have a.
I mean, David Lynch would be interesting for sure, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust him with it. He gets too weird. Like you
start adding things that aren't in the books.
Yeah.
Or in the in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, oh yeah, all the Space Marine.
Well,
he'd focus on like the weird stuff that like gets mentioned once in the lore. Like Space Marines can supposedly spit acid. But that never comes up ever in any of the game or any of the thing. It was like mentioned one thing in like in passing. He'd focus on that and make the entire show about it. Like I'll be like, what are you doing, bro?
It's gonna add pugs for no reason. It's like they have space pugs now.
They have space pugs now. Yeah. Why are there so many space pugs everywhere? There's just a pug with an Astra Militarum helmet on. Cadia stands. But I think he would be good. I'd want someone. Either that or someone who's really good at like gritty action. Like I wouldn't mind if the guy who did like Kingsman did it, you know, really stylized violence and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know who the director was, but
I can't think of it off the top of my head.
That church fight scene with what's his name?
With Colin Firth.
Who I didn't know the dude can do action.
Yeah, no one did.
He fucking did it so well.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Dude, that with Freebird going in the background, he's just like murdering people. Yeah, I would love that. So I think it needs to be dark and gritty and violent, and like you need to come out of an episode being like, fuck, I don't feel good. like I'm depressed and the future is depressing because that's what it is. It's grim dark, you know. So
I can't remember the director who did Clockwork Orange. What's his?
Jesus
Christ.
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick would have been fucking great because it would have been twisted. It definitely I don't know. Has he done a violent movie?
Stanley Kubrick? Well, he hasn't done anything because he's dead.
Well, I mean, you know, like had he done like, I think he would have done a really good job of
Shining
it being
was kind of violent.
That's true, but nothing. There was like no war.
I mean,
oh wait, didn't he do? Oh my God, the war movie with fucking. Oh my God, Kingpin was in it. Oh
yeah. Oh fuck, why can't I?
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. Honestly, there wasn't much war in it. It was just
true. Yeah,
in the back of it. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm excited for it though. I'd be okay with if they got some of the directors of Game of Thrones, not the two showrunner guys, but some of the directors. I'd be okay with because like some of those war scenes and stuff were fantastic.
Yeah,
and some of that depressing feel and where like you're in the north in Winterfell, and everything's just cold and you're and shitty and you're like, God damn it. When's things going to get better? I'm down for that. So I'm excited. Let us know down in the comments what you're most excited for James Gunn's reign, or, are we wrong? Do you have any valid points on why he wouldn't be good? I'm going to put a very incendiary thumbnail on this episode. So we're probably going to get some people who are commenting down who haven't watched the whole episode. So look for those in the comments too. We're very excited to read those. But like and subscribe while you're down there. It is free and it helps us out. And check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. You can help support the show monetarily in there. And hope you guys have a good holiday season. We'll be back next week, of course. So hopefully you have a good time with your family this weekend. Christian, thank you very much for my fine gifts. I can't wait to shuffle those into my thing. To all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Happy holidays.